And I'm not in this game anymore. Trying to stay 18 steps ahead of the worst possible interpretation of my words or actions isn't taking accountability. It's just self-defense. It's just protecting the brand. And
You use squint and Asian in the same sentence, okay? That's not 18 steps. That's like fucking half a step, okay? Get your media training together.
That's like opening your front door and then being like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm not wearing pants. Let me close
Yeah,
the front
exactly.
door and put my
Exactly.
pants back on.
I understand why this lingering culture of distrust, especially among communities of color, but it is the height of dishonesty to suggest that the kind of atmosphere where everything is taken in bad faith leads to a more just world. I'm not.
Well, finally, something I agree with.
The fuck cultivated that attitude, Lindsay?
Yeah.
Was it the diet Nazis?
Yes.
Was it the Republicans? Was it the conservatives? Was it even the liberals?
No.
Or
Yeah.
was it the fucking woke as fuck socialist leftist assholes?
Yeah, totally.
I don't know. You tell me, Lindsay.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Fight with
Furious
us.
because I'm uniquely wronged. I will be fine. I didn't actually lose anything. I could have pretended nothing happened and probably be better off because nobody cares about the fucking riot tweet. I'm furious because this keeps happening and we have deluded ourselves into thinking that savaging each other for the smallest transgression and the most
Oh my
I know.
God.
Why is
This
this
is
1
insane.
hour and 30 minutes in the video? This is like the beginning of the video.
This is madness. No, but she's like, I didn't make this video to defend myself. Okay. I did this to defend everyone who's ever been canceled.
Yeah. Thank you for finally defending Sargon, Lindsay.
What the yeah, but that's what, as she's calling people diet Nazis, she's now trying to be like, oh, I am your canceled Jesus. Put me up on the cross, Twitter. I will die so that no one must be canceled anymore. Like, fuck you. Oh my God. This is so crazy.
Okay, there's a little bit of self-awareness here I'm detecting.
minor disagreement is helping right the wrongs of the world. That there's this broad refusal to admit that our systems that operate on good faith are very often abused. I was going to include a section about other people from more marginalized groups than me who are held to an even higher standard of purity, who have lost way more than I have for equally minor perceived transgressions, but you know, you probably already know some, and they probably don't want me using their names anyway. But I feel,
you know, it's not about me, so you know, why should I waste
Yeah, I was
time
gonna
on it?
say, yeah. It was an hour and 40 minutes, so I cut the marginalized people out.
This is insane.
Yeah. Well, they don't. I mean, it would be a bad look to use them as like her human shields. Look, all my black friends. Here, let me virtue signal. Let me boost their channels.
I've never seen anything like this in my life. I've never seen someone do a mea culpa where they don't actually mea culpa. They don't actually really apologize, but then also they criticize their own community, but also don't criticize their own community at the same time.
Yeah. What's
Like
a tough
this
line
is
to walk?
an enigma.
Yeah.
This is a new form of YouTube video that we've never seen before
Yeah.
in the history of YouTube videos.
I feel like I need to impress that I didn't start getting noticeable harassment from the purity tester brigade until I stood up for a trans woman on Twitter over, and I cannot express this enough, a situation that did not deserve anything approaching the level of outrage that it fostered. And that backlash did not come from the alt-right or even the diet Nazis, but our own community, our side.
Oh my God, we've taken an hour and 30 minutes for her to say our community.
Come on, it's getting good. Let's figure out what she's saying.
This is why they win. A friend of mine named it the Beast, the name for this fear that we all live under but don't acknowledge. And over the last few years, I have had so many of my colleagues, all of them women, people of color, trans people, queer people, or some combination of the above, voice to me the constant anxiety that they live with about maybe saying something wrong that will get them on the bad side of their own communities. Every thought is a hostage situation.
Yep.
Is this the tweet that's going to sink me? So what do we call it? What is the name?
It's called cancel.
I'm sorry.
Wait.
What do we call this? What? Wait, what do we call it?
Cancel culture, right? I mean,
I've never this thing she's talking about. People being afraid that they have to walk on eggshells for
it's
fear
cancel
of
culture.
of insulting a woke mob. I've never heard any. Have you ever heard?
It's cancel culture
In your entire life, Adam.
Yeah,
Have you ever heard a single person mention this problem ever before now?
Yeah, you all the time. That's all you ever talk about.
I've never heard anybody ever in my entire life mention this.
It's cancel
Lindsay
culture.
Has stumbled upon a deep secret that no one has ever found. She's like Indiana Jones. She's out there in the jungle hacking away. She's finding secret woke Aztec temples. She's finding the jewels of human knowledge deep within the heart of the forest that no one has ever found before.
Well, Twitter's more like the Temple of Doom, but I get you. It's more.
You know what? You know what? I'm glad. Okay, I am gonna be evil for a second. I'm gonna throw I'm gonna turn my empathy off for a second.
What?
I am so fucking glad that all these fucking bread tubers and all these leftist YouTubers that are Lindsay Ellis fans all live in fear of their own shit communities. Because guess what? I've been saying that. We've all been saying that for the last 4 fucking years, saying, listen to us. You're cultivating a movement that will destroy the left in America. You're cultivating a toxic movement that threatens to destroy our entire country. And we're saying, this is how people feel. They feel like they're living under an inquisition. They feel like they're in equilibrium, or they're too afraid to show any fucking emotions. Lindsay, we've been telling you this for years, and you're like, oh, well, what do we call this? I've just never experienced. Fuck you. Fuck all those people. I'm glad they feel that way. They deserve it.
Yeah, I'm not losing any sleep at night, Sitch. Are you? I feel great.
I'm triggered as fuck.
I feel great.
I'm so happy that those people are miserable. I am happy about that. Let them be miserable. I mean, this is the bed they've made. Now they have to lie in it.
They're racist. They deserve it.
They're worse than They're worse than racist. You know who they are? These are the fucking Nazi prison guards. Okay?
They are. I say that all the time. I call them that.
They're all like, oh, well,
gotta pay the mortgage. Sorry.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine how pathetic this is? Okay. If every single bread tuber and leftist YouTuber feels this way, all they have to do is come out and say, we were wrong. They don't have to say we were wrong. They can just fucking flip this in any other way and say, we need to promote a culture of anti-fragility and not cancel culture anymore.
They can't.
Okay? They could all come out in unison and do it together. And they're not, because they're too terrified of their audiences. They're just so petrified. They're so fucking cowardly. They're no fucking Jordan Peterson. They're not standing up for their principles. They're just so terrified of the people around them. It's disgusting.
Their entire audience are hate watchers, man. That's all they have is hate.
I don't think so. I don't think that. I don't agree with that at all.
Well, they want to. If they want to take them, if they want to take them down a peg. I mean, if they're looking to, cancel.
They love them until they're very. I think they're very schizophrenic. Not schizophrenic. They're very.
Oh my God!
Borderline personality disorder. They'll just flip on a dime. They love Lindsay until they hate her.
Yeah.
So no, they could come out. All these. If what she's saying is true, no, all these leftist community YouTubers, they all live in fear. Well, then nut up, okay, Lindsay, nut up, you motherfuckers, and change. Here's your chance. Here's your chance to enact positive change in the world. Okay, you could stop this. You guys could be actual leaders for once. And say, you know what? We're not going to put up with this shit anymore.
This is the leader influencer divide, man. She doesn't. Her necklace doesn't say leader. Her necklace says influencer.
That's right.
As soon as she's gone. It's a great
point. It's a great point.
I'm serious. They're like, get out of the way. They don't want a leader. They don't want to be told what to do. They want to let their feelings pull them around. They want to see other people suffer. They want other people to feel their suffering. So.
Right. And I think part of why I'm getting so triggered it's not just the lack of self-awareness, but it's like, how dare she try to play on my sympathies? Okay. When she has the power to change this for the better.
I don't know that she does. I don't know that she does.
They all do. They all do. No one else does, Adam. No one fucking else in the world does. It's only them.
What would the strategy be? What would be your, Lindsay Ellis comes to you and she says, listen, this shit is getting out of control. We need to stop this cancel culture. I'm going to make a video about it. What should I do?
This is what all the bread tubers, all the leftist YouTubers, they could all come out with a video on the same day
together. Yeah,
together,
a joint video. That's a good idea right there. Yeah,
right. That they all
Contra,
upload on their own channels and they're all in.
Contra,
everyone.
Lindsay Ellis,
everyone who would be part of it, because there'd be a bunch of assholes that wouldn't be part of it that would try to use it to claw ahead.
Like the
Thought
letter.
Slime. He feels like a person that wouldn't say, no, I'm going to use this to try to claw ahead. Okay. So yeah, there would be people that would. But
Thought Slime wouldn't be in?
No, he would refuse. So? He would refuse. He feels like the person that would use this as an opportunity to climb the hierarchy.
Oh my God. You're like, Lindsay, you're almost out. I want your audience. Fuck you.
Exactly.
I don't like this idea.
Exactly.
Cancel culture is great.
No, this is what
my Rittenhouse video made like $5,000.
Right, exactly. You get all. This is what you do. You get all the people that feel this way. You get them all together. You could say, look, we can totally advocate for socialism or whatever the fuck they want to advocate for. They could totally advocate for, being anti-racist. They could totally advocate for all these things and just say, but, we need to also realize the importance of free speech. We also need to realize the importance of, I guess you're right. I guess they couldn't say it because this all stems from the singular idea that we live in automatically a racist society. And so the only way to turn would be to throw that idea in the trash, which maybe they can't do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. I'm like, they're boxed in, man. They're like a cornered animal here.
They just would have to acknowledge that they were wrong.
Yeah.
They'd have to have the courage to acknowledge that they were wrong, which they can't ever do.
Well, I know Scott Adams is jumping to acknowledge that he's wrong. I mean, he's ready. He's right there, willing to take all kinds of criticism. No one wants to admit they're wrong.
Well, even if you, as much as you, and even I like to crap on Scott Adams sometimes, he's not afraid to say things he knows his audience does not like.
That's what the nicest tweet that I said after that was, he does serve a valuable purpose. He does. Yes. Like, he gets people ready. He says, listen, this shouldn't trigger us. And then the people who are triggered by it just leave, and they're never part of his audience again. But,
right.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. We can't be soft. We got to be able to look at their stuff, look at their arguments, and not run away in abject terror. But this cancel culture stuff, I don't know. I'm skeptical that she could be a leader on this. I'd like to think that she could. I mean, she
couldn't by herself, but if what she's saying is true and they all feel this way, they could all come together. They could all come together and be fucking leaders, actually enact positive change. You said, I think what you're saying was completely accurate. Evolve from being an influencer to a leader.
But isn't this the exact same thing that like Steven Pinker and J.K. Rowling and a bunch of Barry Weiss, a bunch of other people did with that letter? And
that's what, exactly.
But Lindsay Ellis and Contra were right there, like
mocking the letter. Yeah. Yes, that's right.
Slapping their faces in the door.
I know.
For doing the letter. Yeah, they were screaming about cancel culture isn't real. This is nonsense. Like,
I mean, you're right. That's a perfect point. They were all saying, "Oh, J.K. Rowling, all these liberals." They were all complaining about cancel culture. Cancel culture is it's a Republican cool. It's a white person's thing to absolve themselves of critiques of being racist. And here, Lindsay and Contra are like, "Oh, we've been canceled. Oh, who could have foreseen this?"
But I mean, what you're proposing is something like that letter. So wouldn't they go, hey, didn't J.K. Rowling just do something like this like a couple months ago and we were shitting on her?
That's the thing. They would have to admit that they were wrong.
Right. About the J.K. Rowling
They'd have to be brave
situation.
and courageous.
Yeah. Brave and courageous.
I know. That's the problem. They would rather live as weak cowards, shaking in fear of their own audience, pushing down their anxieties. That's why they're so unhappy. And that's part of why I think that they're so
I can't imagine.
willing to lash out at everyone else.
I can't imagine.
On YouTube and on Twitter, because they're so unhappy, because they're so terrified of their own audience, of their existence.
I can't imagine. So weird.
but see, and then this is the biggest nothing. This is disgusting, because this is Lindsay Ellis basically saying, fuck you, I'm not going to be afraid of you guys anymore, but I'm also going to not change whatsoever and try to use this as a positive example going forward.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's so
Just
bad.
the I'm uncancelable route.
Yeah. I'm uncancelable, but I'm not going to change. Everyone else is still a Nazi.
And cancel culture's fine. Yeah.
And cancel culture is actually fine. It's actually accountability. Just not when it's done to me and my friends.
Yeah. Because I'm untouchable, bitches.